Are you also one of those kind of people whose alarm rings in the morning at 6 a.m. and they jump out of bed wide awake? Me neither. I think what I hate the most about a day is actually getting up in the morning. Waking up from such sweet dreams to such a cold and tough reality. As such as a small feeling of resentment is actually quite normal to me, at least during the first 30 minutes of a day. And 3 years ago, in August, it was all the same. But yet, there was still a bit of a difference. I didn't just not only not want to get out of bed, but imagined myself laying there and continue sleeping forever. Never waking up again would have been just fine for me. And these kind of thoughts were quite new to me, as I always used to be a quite happy person with a lot of joys in life. But at that time, life just seemed so unnecessary to me. I asked myself, at the end of the day, what would stay? What was I even living for? And I wondered, when did I become so purposeless? So I began to journal, as I always used to do in periods of tournament, and asked myself what had changed during these last days that could have been the reason. And there actually was one quite obvious thing, I have to admit. It was my love life. A few days ago, my boyfriend and I had just broken up. So some of you may gonna say, girl, you were just going through a normal breakup and now you're making such a big deal out of it? Well, actually yes. Because this breakup taught me something that changed my life forever. So let me continue. My boyfriend and I had been together for 6 years, and we had one of the most healthiest relationships I have ever experienced. We always knew we were not each other's purpose of life, and that we were still self-responsible for our own happiness. But still, now, my boyfriend was gone, and my purpose of life was gone. But as I told you, my boyfriend had not been the purpose of my life. So what did he take with him that could have been it? And thinking further, I actually realized it was the love in my life. He had been my main source of love during my last 6 years. So the conclusion seemed pretty clear to me then. I had neither no love in my life anymore, and no purpose in life anymore. So love must be the purpose of life. But this thought just seemed so easy, but still felt so right, that I started researching about it, and actually found a lot of arguments underlying this new hypothesis. Let me start with the evolutionary point of view. When we ask ourselves why we are here on Earth and why we are living, we can ask ourselves a bunch of questions. First of all, as an example, why am I here? Why me? Mostly we're here on Earth because our parents have decided to share an act of love. Or to put it like believers say, we're here on Earth because God created us out of love. Either way you want to put it, our origin actually seems to be love. But I have found some exceptions to that, as I'm not talking about love being the purpose for some of us, but for each and every one of us. I continued researching. The second question I asked myself, totally different question as you can see, is why am I here? You are actually able to sit here and to listen to this TED Talk because you have gotten enough love and affection as a baby in order to grow up and become the person who you are. Because, as studies have shown, babies raised without love and affection show troubles in the development, neurologically and behaviorally seen. A total lack and total absence of love and affection can even lead to the baby's death. As such as it seems like we need love, like food and water, in order to grow up and even to survive. The third question I asked myself, why am I here? When people are looking for a sense in their life, they're basically looking for contentment, also called happiness. But when are we truly happy? Could love also be the answer here? Love shows what we're doing, what we're working and for living alike our own values. When we love how we live, or when we live through love in the first place, we can feel the sense of life pumping through our veins. But let me get away from the linguistic point of view, and let's look at the underlying mechanisms of love. When we look at a biopsychological point of view, we can see that love activates certain areas of our brain which are connected to the release of happiness hormones. For example, in our limbic recompensation system, you can see here. And of course, this kind of activation is also shown at other moments in our life, for example, when we're being successful. But happiness coming from love is not short-lasting and making us craving for more, but rather long-lasting and healthily fulfilling. Additionally, studies have shown that showing love on a regular basis through little actions or being especially friendly makes us more self-confident, optimistic, mentally strong, and relaxed. So I think it's worth it. But let's sum up. Why am I here? Out of love, through love, and to love. I believe love is the purpose that was given to us in life, as we're not able to grow up healthily, nor be truly happy without it. And as to me in the beginning, to some of you this may seem so easy, and maybe even just so romantic. But it actually isn't. Because if it was, we would all just live by it. But the world gives us so many distractions that we often rather choose to live by anger or by fear. And love may be romantic, of course, but I'm not talking about the kind of love you're sharing with your partner. You can be the happiest person alive being single like a prima, because the kind of love I am talking about, we all have inside of us. It's the unconditional love a mother feels for her baby, the automatic empathy you get when you see someone in pain, or the little smile you have when you walk past somebody you like. This kind of love includes everything. Of course, people, but also nature, animals, and most important, yourself. And being in this loving state of mind, you feel totally at peace, and you act out of it. As such as, if we would all refocus on the actual purpose of love, I think we could solve every problem the world is facing right now. And let me just name 3 of them as an example. And let me start with one which is probably really obvious to you, but still very important to talk about. Let me start to talk about war. Where there's war, obviously love is not reigning. Other needs, like land or mightiness, are standing in first place. And putting back love on first place would obviously already end most of the ongoing wars. Additionally, being in a loving state of mind, being right does not matter to you, as such as political and religious wars would no longer exist. But of course, even being in a loving state of mind, you will have other existential needs, like food or water, in order to survive. But, taking into account today's agricultural standards and the amount of food production we have, we could actually nourish 12 billions of people. Right now we are more or less 9 billions. As such as we can see, the world is enough for each and every one of us. And if we just share more fairly, we could actually end world hunger. And refocusing on love helps us to realize that, remember that, and to overthink our own lifestyle and consumption. And this overthought leads me to my last point of view I want to share with you. If we would treat our planet with more love and respect, we would not be facing the actual climate crisis as we are facing it right now. Forests would not be taken down by greed. Factory farming would not exist. And the actual human power and intelligence we have would not be used for the most money-making, but for the most long-lasting and sustainable solutions. We would treat our planet like a home, with love and respect. And this may all seem like a big, huge, hippie dream to you. Love and peace, we have all heard about it in the past. But whether this dream of making yourself and everyone around you the most happy actually comes true only depends on you. It is not far away. It is not expensive. It's right inside of ourselves. And we can start right away. When you go out of this room, stop for a little moment and ask yourself, am I right now acting out of love? And if not, breathe in, breathe out, refocus, and start again. Live, love more. Because love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered, and it keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Love never fails. Thank you.